And today also we are here with another tutorial. Today we are looking at the vector ink application, a very nice app used for designing logos. But it's one of my top 5 logo apps, as I'll say. It's a very nice Android app that you can use to design vector logos. It really does a great job over there. So I want to go quickly into the video and start with our lesson. Now you can get the vector ink app on Google Play Store. So you just, if you don't have it, you just go to Google Play Store and then search for the vector ink app. So you search vector ink and then you have it over there, vector ink, and then you download it. I already have it installed on my device, so let's go. So when you open the vector ink app for the first time, this is the interface. This is how it looks like. Over there we have your recent. The recent refers to your recent works you have been doing, or the ones you did not long ago. So I have some of my recent works over here. Now, and then at the top right corner, find out that we have the pencil tool. That looks like something like the edit session. This. So anytime we hit on our pencil tool, it gives us the chance to edit our works we have done. That's, you want to delete any of the work, or you want to copy or make a double. So that's where we have our delete option, and then we have our copy option over here. Good. So let's continue. So that is it for the the so let's continue. Below we have the my fonts. My fonts is a section where you can install your downloaded fonts that you want to use whilst designing your logo. So beneath I have some fonts here which I installed on it. Yes, so you can upload more fonts. So when you tap on the my font, it takes you into your document so that you can upload or install the very fonts you want to use. Very good. Below the my fonts we have the feature tutorials. Now the vector ink app comes with um, tutorials which can guide you as a beginner or as you design your logos along the way. So if you are new to this app, I'll advise you go through some of the tutorials we have over here. They are really helpful. So we have a lot of them. Now that is it for the home session. Now we come to my work session below here. My work session. Over there also it displays the various work you have done. That is the same as your work, the works you have done so far. Yes. So some of the works I've done are here. So that is it for the my work session. Then it goes to the tutorials. As I said, it comes with um, preloaded tutorials which will help you or guide you along the journey. So let's quickly jump and then start something. So we open, or we start by opening a new document by hitting our plus at the recent, and then it loads us into our document. So it can be used offline as well as whilst your data is on. So there's no need to worry. Now, so this is how the document interface looks like. So at the far left where we have the three bars, that is where you have options where you can do a lot of stuff. Like you want to create a new document, we have it here. We have to save and exit, snapping, documents. So we go through each and every one of them. Now with a new, you want to create a new document, so you just hit the new, and then you make, or it automatically brings out a new document which you can work on. And then the save, after you've done a work, and then you just save it, and then you hit, when you hit on the save, it just saves it automatically for you. Now and then the save and exit. You want to save and then leave the app, or you want to save and leave the application, or you want to exit. So these are the options you want to. Now snapping. Snapping is a very important feature in this app that helps you to snap objects whilst you are designing your logo. And then we have documents. So you want to determine, when it comes to documents, maybe you want to determine the size of the document, the color of the document you want to use. So over here, when I hit on the document, you see that at the document section, when I hit on the document, we have some options here. So as I change the colors from the top here, you realize that the color of my document at the background is changing. Yes, so I can make changes by just moving these colors, changing them here. I can change the width and then the height. So whatever height and width I want to use for my work, I do so. Close the document tab. From the document, we have grid. Grid is also an important tool in this application, which helps you in designing so much. So the grid helps you to be able to align your work. You get it? In aligning your work, in designing or making up a logo. So anytime we hit on the grid, we have an option like the toggle grid. That's, you hit on the toggle grid and then the grid displays at background. It displays at our background, as you can see over here. So you see the grid option displayed there. That's when you switch on the toggle grid. Now you can determine the size of the grid. So as it's being increased, you realize that the grid size is reducing. You get it? Yeah. So as you decrease it, that's the size of the grid is reducing as well. Then we have the borders. So the borders of the grid. So if you want to increase the border of the grid, the highest grid border you can um, exceed to, or you can get to, is the one. So you can't go above that. So you can go below 0 0.8, 0 0.9. Yes. So let's move to the next. And then also from the grid, they have the copy option. The copy option. The copy option. The copy option is very, very important and very, very unique in this application, which it helps you to be able to copy an object, and then below the copy option we have paste. So it helps you to paste an object. So let's say, for example, if I have a rectangle, I'm drawing a rectangle, the let me change the stroke of our rectangle so that it will be visible. So let me change the stroke. I want to increase the stroke of our rectangle so that it becomes visible. Good. So let's say I have a rectangle, and then I want to use the copy and paste option. When I hit on the copy, while the rectangle is selected, it has been copied. You get it? And then if I want to paste it, I hit on the paste option. So it has been pasted. So you realize that I'll be having two different rectangles on my document. It has been copied and pasted. So that is the help of our copy and paste option here. Now also we have import. If you want to import a file or an image from your gallery or your folders into the document so you can work on it or you can use it, you can. It's possible. And then when you are done with your work, you want to export your work, you have the export option also over here, as you can see. As we have here, yeah, the export option. And then we have export SVG. Now export SVG and export selection SVG are the features which helps you to export the document or your work in a folder or a file that can be edited, for example, in another application like um, Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator. You get it. So when you export your document as SVG, you're able to work on that same document that you exported in the Adobe Illustrator app, and then other vector apps used for designing. You get it? Yeah. So let's continue with the video. From the export option, let's come back to our interface now. Now, the now we have the magnet or the snapping tool at the top, which looks like the magnet horseshoe at the top there. Yes, where the arrow is pointing. Now, this helps you to be able to connect two objects together. For example, if I want to move this to this object, realize that the moment it gets to the edge of it, the red line shows, which is helping me to know that the object has coincided with the other one. But when it is off and then I'm moving, you realize that there is no guide to help you know that has the object coincided or met the other object or shape. You get it? That's the importance of the magnet horseshoe at the top there. That's the snapping tool. Yeah. Now to the next we have the selection tool. The selection tool. The selection tool helps you to select the object on your document space. So since the selection tool is on, when I tap on this rectangle, it is being selected. When I tap on this, it's being selected. So with the help of the selection tool, that is what it does. Now, and then we have the point tool. Now the point tool helps you, or it helps to transform the image or the object selected into an editable forms, where it gives it brings out the various points of the object so you can edit it. So the selected image or the selected object, the first rectangle here, you realize that when I hit on the point tool, there have been editable points shown in the object, so I'm able to edit it in the way and manner that I want to. So that is the help of our point tool. And then we have our pen tool. So the pen tool. Now the pen tool also helps you to draw all forms of shape. All forms of shape. For those of us familiar with Illustrator, Photoshop, realize that the pen tool is a very essential and unique tool in these applications. So it helps you to draw all forms of shape you want to draw. So that is the help of the pen tool. It's a very unique tool that helps you so much. Now to the next one, that's where we have the shape tool. The shape tool. Over here we have different kinds of shapes. So if you want to activate to see the various shapes in there, you just double tap, you single tap, yeah, you single tap, and then it displays out the various shapes in there. So we have the first rectangle, we have circle, we have the polygon, we have the star, and then we have our straight line or our dash line. So you select the rectangle, and then you just use your hand on the document, you draw up your rectangle, and then you select the circle, use your hand, you draw up the circle, and you select a pentagon, a polygon, you use your hand, you draw your polygon. So these contain shapes. Now when it comes to the shape tool also, the shape tool, we have another shift 2 symbol at this your far right, where you can edit that particular shape. For example, this polygon I've selected, depending on the number of sizes I have, when I tap on that shape tool, I can make changes. So if I want 8-sided polygon, 9-sided polygon, 10-sided polygon, 3-sided, 2-sided polygon, all is inclusive. I'm going to get them. So up to 3-sided polygon till the top. So now I have 8-sided polygon selected. See that when I'm to draw my shape, draw it somewhere. So you see, we have now developed an 8-sided polygon. 8-sided polygon. Let me delete some of this. And then in using the vector ink application, unless you select an object before you can work on it, and then so you just by simply tapping on the object whilst you have selected your selection tool, just by simply tapping on it, you are good to go, and then you delete it. So I'm using the delete option or the delete symbol down here. Yeah, that is the one I'm using to delete the objects. And then we have the shape builder tool. Another important tool, or the path builder tool, is a very important tool that helps you to combine different shapes per what you want to design or the logo you want to come up with. So for example, if I have, let me deactivate my grid, and then let me change my document color to like white, so that can transparent will be okay. Okay, yeah. So let's say for example I have shapes that I've drawn. Let's say I have a circle, and then I have a rectangle drawn together. Let's say I've drawn these two shapes. Now these two shapes which I've drawn, I have drawn them together. But let's say I want to bring out a different shape out of the two. So with the help of this path builder tool, when I select the path builder tool, automatically your sculpting tool is activated. So sculpt option is activated. You can deactivate it. Now, when you select the path builder tool, we have the first part, which is the join mode. We have the erase mode. We have the subtract shapes, and then we have the stylus. So stylus on. Now you select or you choose your join mode. Let me put the stylus off, and then let me cancel this. So I select my join mode. But before I work on this, the shapes I want to work on, I first select those shapes. So I have two shapes here, so I have to make sure I select both of them, since I want to bring out, or I want to build out a shape from the two. So I have to make sure those various shapes I want to use are selected. So now both are selected. In selecting, you just tap on the screen whilst your hand is on it, and then you roll over the shapes you want to select. So just as this way, and then yeah, you have selected all the shapes that are being covered within the highlight. So then we come and select back our path builder tool. Now we select our first one, which is our join mode, and then we begin to join the shape. So let's see what we can do here. Now as you are joining, anytime you are joining and then the color is orange, it means it is not completed. But when the color turns blue, it means you have completed the shape. So we have completed a shape right now. Good. So I can complete another shape. I see I want to complete this one also. So I've completed another shape. Over here we have two different shapes that I've completed. The first one I did and then the second one. When you finish, you tap on your selection tool and then your work is selected. As it is selected, since you joined or you brought out two different shapes, let's separate them and see. So I click on the shape and then you realize that this is the first one that we developed, we built, and this is the second one that we did. It wasn't like this at first, but as we use the path builder tool, we have gotten two different shapes. It is a very essential tool that we use whilst designing our logos. And then the next one we have the draw tool. The draw tool is used for drawing and it's very um, good, very good. And then the next also we have the copy tool. So with the copy tool, anytime you have an object selected and you activate the copy tool, it copies that particular object the number of times you choose or the number of times you prefer it to copy. Let me delete this to the shape. And then let me select the shape and then let me use the copy tool. Now the copy tool has copied that shape I just selected. How many times? Then it come here 4 times, so it has copied it 4 times. So when I reduce it, it has come to 3. And then I reduce it, it has come to 2. Let's see whether it's 2. Let me highlight. Let me highlight them, and then so you realize that we have 3 shapes here of the same original one. You get it? So 2 have been added to this. You can still use the copy tool and use the copy tool and then change it 3. So let me so 3 have been added to, so this is 3 being added to the 1, and then we have this one and then another one. Let me highlight. Okay, so we have this one, this one. The strokes are light. Let me increase the stroke and let me delete all this before. So good. Let me return to my document. This is my document. This is my working area. So let me write there. Now then from the copy tool we have the corner tool. Now the corner tool helps you to make or to edit the corners of various shapes. So for example, this rectangle tool, when I select my rectangle and I draw a rectangle, and then I select this rectangle and then activate my corner tool, you realize that the corners have been activated by displaying the circles over there. So if I want to edit any of the corner, I just tap on that portion and then I drag it down. So you realize that that corner has been edited. I tap on that portion and then I drag it. So corner 2 activated. I select that portion. Then Select. Sometimes working with the corner tool sometimes can be somewhat stressful. That is one thing they need to improve on. Yet it is great when it works out. Okay, so I think that's it. Yeah. And then next we have the gradient tool. The gradient tool. So below the corner tool we have the gradient tool. Now with the gradient tool also is used to fill up a particular shape with a gradient color. So I select my gradient tool and then I zoom. Sometimes when you select the gradient tool, it doesn't appear unless you zoom, out the object for the gradient tool option to appear. So after it appears, now you begin to move according to how you want it. You can change the various colors also of the gradient tool by coming to the top here to select. So choose the color you want to use. So I select this purple or orange, the violet. So I select it up and then try to move it in the direction I want. So if I want, so that is it for the gradient. So we fill our object with the gradient. And that is it. Now the next is the test tool. Test tool is for writing text. The moment you hit on it, it opens up the tab for you to type in your text. So let's say logo. Then we save it. So this is what we have as our test. Logo. So that is it for our test. And then you can also change the fonts of your tests. So we have the various fonts displayed below. So you can change them as you want. And then, so I don't want this video to be long, so we'll continue the next or the rest of the other parts in our next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.